Yeah.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the November 13th Board of Aldermen meeting. I now call this meeting to order and would ask everyone to rise and join the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. I would ask the city clerk for a roll call for attendance.
Alderman Allen.
Aye. I'm here.
Alderman Even. Here. Alderman Francisco. Here. Alderman Hughes.
Here.
Alderman Kinsella.
Here.
Alderman Murphy.
Here.
Alderman Schwer.
Here.
And Alderman Wiesenham.
Here.
Mayor Raymond is presiding, and we do have quorum.
Thank you. Relative to the minutes from the October 23rd meeting, I seek a motion and second to approve. Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? All in favor, say aye. Oh, I'm sorry. Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. I was not here, but I did review the YouTube.
Thank you. Thank you. Having gone. All in favor now, say aye. Any opposed? All right, we do have one speaker, one person from our constituent who wants to speak, which is great, and it's Pete Eckenbrecht. If you would like to come up, sir.
Right here. Good evening.
And I think if, just as protocol, you say your name and your address for the record.
Sure. I'm Pete Egbert. I live at 13224 Clayton Road. My wife has been there for 50 years. We've been married for 46, so we have a bit of history in the area here.
Certainly do.
There's been a lot of goings on over at Bryn, some good, an occasional little stumble on their part. They came by a few weeks ago to say, well, we're gonna drag some big lights in and light up the football field across from your house. And we thought, yeah, no. I said, sure, that's fine. Is there anything else we can do? And I said, well, with time activity, the parking lot next to the football field toward Clayton Road is being used a lot. And those lights shine into our kitchen and our dining room. And Steve Stock, who's their new facilities guy, said, oh, how about some bushes? So a few days ago, they came out and planted 11 tiny bushes about as tall as I am. Put mulch around them and they will grow up and that will solve our problem. So I just wanted you all to know they're being a good neighbor to us. And I think it was very nice of them to do that. They even apologized for the week or two it took to get the bushes in. So that was all good. So we're very pleased that they were able to do that for us. And the guys who have been digging all the holes along Clayton Road put a big concrete thing out front of our house. And they were putting their fiber optic cable in. And they asked me if they disturbed the grass too much. They came back and put some more seed and straw in a few days later. So we're being well treated. We appreciate it.
If I could just comment, Mr. Eckenbrecht, we don't often give citizens with good news. And so the fact that you took time to come out and compliment, especially Principia, because they really are good neighbors in our community. And so thanks for taking the time. Appreciate it very much.
Come back again.
All right, thank you. Under public hearings, I will read this. A public hearing to review a request from Diana Helfers of Sport Court St. Louis on behalf of Ed and Marcy Weiner, hope I pronounced it correctly, owners, for approval of a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a permanent outdoor game court located at 15 Broadway Road in the Estate Zoning District. I now declare the public hearing open and would ask the city clerk to enter exhibits.
Exhibit number 1 is affidavit of publication of notice of hearing published in the St. Louis County on October 27th, 2023. Exhibit number 2 is typewritten notice of hearing posted at the municipal center, on the city's website, sent via Notify Me, posted on the subject property, and mailed to property owners within 300 feet with a list of those owners attached. And exhibit number 3 is bill number 2349.
Thank you. I would invite Ms. Helpers to the podium to answer any questions, and then would ask if any of the members of the board have questions.
Ryan will answer questions on their behalf.
You're up, Brian. All right. Apparently not. Any questions? Are there any members of the public that wish to comment on this? I now declare the public hearing closed. Do not have any appointments. At this point, I recognize the board's opportunity to provide reports, if so desired. Alderman Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Great news. Signs have been posted in key areas around the city about 2 upcoming events that we're very excited about. The turkey trot will be held appropriately on Thanksgiving Day morning. That event will feature a 3-mile run at 9 a.m. and a half-mile kids fun run at 10 a.m. Registration required. Check in with the Parks Department for that. And on December 2nd, we'll be having our inaugural outdoor winter market here in Town Square. Great celebration. That event is free. Will feature local merchants, food, beverages for purchase, holiday decorations, and a great way to kind of kick off your holiday fanfare. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Great, and I hope we have some of this kind of mild November weather for you on December 2nd.
We're trying.
All right,
We do our best.
Alderman Louisiana.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to report the police fire EMS commission will meet next Tuesday at 4:30 in the community room.
Thank you. And I believe the city administrator does not have a.
No report.
That's great. Under unfinished business, bill number 23-48, sponsored by Alderman Louisiana, without objection. Would the city clerk read the bill for the second time?
Bill number 2348 is an ordinance authorizing the city administrator to execute a software agreement with Frontline Public Safety Solutions for the provision of a field training platform for use by the Town and Country Police Department.
Thank you. I seek a motion and a second. Thank you. Any discussion or amendment? I would ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Weezan.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
Alderman Edith. Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
And Alderman Allen.
Aye.
The bill passes unanimously and becomes ordinance number 4594.
Thank you. Going on to new business, bill number 23-49, seeking sponsors for the bill. Hopefully the alderman's even and Louisiana. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2349 is an ordinance approving a conditional use and authorizing a conditional use permit for an accessory structure, a permanent outdoor game court located at 15 Brookwood Road in the city of Town and Country.
This bill number 2349 is continued to the meeting of Monday, November 27, 2023, the second reading consideration. Next is a resolution number R16-2023. A resolution authorizing an OMCI stormwater reimbursement program agreement between the city of Town and Country and the Metropolitan St. Louis Sewer District regarding limited reimbursement for a qualifying project at 2717 North Dallas. I seek a motion
So moved.
and a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
That's unanimously, thank you. Next, bill number 23-50. Seek sponsorship bill, perhaps the board as a whole. Without objection, would the city clerk read the bill for the first time?
Bill number 2350 is an ordinance accepting the bid and authorizing an agreement with Land Design for construction services associated with the Longview Farm Park Playground project.
Thank you. We welcome SWT Design to do a presentation. Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you, Mayor and Board. I appreciate the opportunity to present for you guys this evening. would like to just kind of walk us through a quick update on Longview's progression in terms of our new playground installation. So we want to quickly kind of review the bids. Be happy to answer any questions. Present a couple of the cost saving options that we've discussed with the Parks and Trails Commission, and then kind of provide an update on the timeline. Thank you. Is that better? Okay. Just wanted to provide a quick render of what we were presented in July of 2022. This is kind of a quick overview of the playground equipment, but would note that location has since changed. So really meant to kind of just describe equipment more than the layout or kind of the feel of the park itself. Next slide, please. So moving into kind of our bid review and project summary, we applied for the municipal park grant in the value of $465,000 with the city match of $460,500. And then the professional designs and services are an additional $45,000. So bringing us to a project budget of $556,500. The cost as they came in, Land Design's bid, including the playground equipment installation, is at $409,000 and $311, excuse me. The playground equipment, which has been part of the playground master planning process, brought us to $175,000, and then again, the professional design and construction management fee. So bringing us to a total project cost over $600,000. So the design team, in terms of beginning to think about how we could start to bring some of that cost down, has been working with Land Design to identify some areas of the project that we could use to inform a reduced anticipated change order. So basically that kind of bottom right budget area is identifying that we're about $44,000 over that project budget. And then we're kind of including that city match into the contribution. Our total value for what a city contribution would be is about $135,000. That's representing about 22% of the total project cost at Longview. The next slide, please. This slide, and I do believe we'll have that included in your packets, is more of a detailed description of the differences and breakdown between the grant, our contractor's bid, and then including that anticipated change order. So I'm happy to answer questions on this, but really where we're seeing some of that cost come in was a lot of the concrete, flat work, and walls. If we move to the next slide, this is a quick diagram of what we had in terms of our bid documents, and then some of the adjustments that we made working back and forth with Land Design to help reduce cost. A lot of this is removing some of the concrete that would be near the larger oak tree at Longview Farm Park, reducing a little bit of playground servicing, and then removing one of the concrete walls, which was significantly impacting our price, and restoring the other two to be more of a stone wall. So kind of anticipated change order with this is almost $30,000. We can move to the next slide. Just presenting here, we did offer a couple of alternates within our bid package. The Parks and Trails Commission has decided to not accept these alternates at this time, but that would have been somewhere closer to $56,000 to have the premium benches, the shade structures, and then a smaller cost for an additional rain garden. So the aesthetic and the value and the play experience at Longview won't be impacted by this. These were kind of us beginning to think of what some of those additional or more premium furnishings might look like. In the next slide, we looked at our site furnishings number coming in from Land Design, and that had us at about $19,000. So that was identifying 9 park benches. The Parks and Trails Commission felt we could either remove from the scope of work for Land Design and potentially look into existing benches or opportunities for fundraising benches. If we do that, that's going to reduce our cost by $18,831, bringing our project total to being closer to an over budget value of $25,000. And then what that's representing is about $117,000 coming from the city, but reducing that overall contribution expectation to 20%. And so that'll be kind of our two options that we discussed with the Parks and Trails Commission to begin to bring this number a little closer to the project budget. We can move to the next slide. And then as far as the timeline goes, wanted to provide the update that we can have land design out as early as kind of February or March. This decision is kind of being driven by the need to install playground turf and the temperature requirements for that. So thinking that we can kind of keep the construction window itself shorter, keep Longview open for as long as possible throughout the winter, and in the springtime get that equipment delivered and have a shorter period of time where Longview Farm Park is closed. And so, yeah, that's kind of the end of this portion of the presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions or review the summaries. Thank you.
Probably for the record, we should know your name.
Oh, I meant to do that at the beginning. I'm Brianna Coleman. I'm with SWT Design.
Thank you. Alderman Weezahan.
I just had a question as far as the activities and the equipment on the playground itself. How is that changing as far as the number of items or like the amount of play that the kids have available? And how does that impact you?
Sure. So that won't be impacted by any of the kind of anticipated change order that we have coming in. So the playground equipment that was ordered and processed as far as kind of that master planning process has remained the same. We were able to reduce a little bit of square footage, but the play value itself and the equipment items have not changed.
And I guess in comparison to what's there today, is there
Sure.
more or less the same?
I would say that there's more. We're reducing the kind of post and platform style that we have and opening that up to a more kind of robust ropes course. We'll be implementing a hillside slide as well as a couple other freestanding slides, and then there are going to be 3 different swing bays, so additional swings to what's there now.
Alderman Francisco.
Thank you. This question might be for Ann. How many, in regard to the benches, I know we have benches that have people's names on, memorial benches. Do we have to maintain those? I mean, are they, or are some of them gonna come out? And if they come out and we're replaced, and just because of the footprint, how it changes? Can you talk to that a little?
We have more requests for benches than we have spaces for benches. And so since it was an over budget item, it's a great opportunity. We have people who want to donate those benches to the park. And so the existing benches won't be touched. These would be new donated benches that we would solicit for that area.
I didn't know if we had any benches in that playground area that had to be removed because we're redoing this playground. If they're taken out, put back in, I guess I was just curious how that footprint's.
These were all additional. These were all new benches, yeah.
And are they gonna stay like those, because we're redoing this brand new playground, it's gonna look fantastic. So is there consideration of what the benches should look like so that they flow with it?
My plan was to have them be consistent with the other donated benches throughout the park. We can look at that in Parks and Trails to see if we want to stray from that design. They're very durable.
Yeah.
Alderman Murphy.
Thank you. On the design, one thing I'd like to hear a little bit more about is the way it's designed to set up for different age groups of children. So maybe you can describe it a little bit and how it's kind of separated.
Sure. So as you're kind of entering the playground area now with the farm facing behind you, the new layout is going to have the swings to the left of your view. So we're kind of keeping that an isolated, or not isolated, but a more distinct area for that activity to happen. Further back towards kind of the tree line back there, if you will, is where our kind of 5 to 12 play is going to take place. So that's going to be some of the more rigorous activities and the more challenging climbs. And then the area that's lying closer to the parking lot is what we've identified for the 2 to 5 age range. So that's going to include your hillside slide. We have a couple of pieces of equipment that are kind of the horses or the tractor vibe. So that'll have that aesthetic appeal, but also the play value there. And in that area, we'll also have some of the additional kind of enrichment or like puzzle type equipment pieces. So that'll kind of be a little bit not isolated, but distinct from that I-12 area.
And could you talk a little bit about the safety levels from surfacing, playground surfacing?
Sure. So all the playground surfacing has dedicated fall zones or height zones that have been calculated and mapped out with our design with Hutchinson Recreation as well as Lane Design. As far as kind of the safety foam itself, there's different depth requirements based off of those fall height areas, which are all accounted for, and then continue to remain safe with that foam padding and then the additional resources from maintaining that safety area.
So Mr. Shelton, this might be a question for you. Just in terms of budget, traditionally, what our ratios tend to be on these type of projects, park playgrounds, grants versus city funding?
So for the playground, it's a minimum requirement under the park grant for the 10%. So the 20% is much more in line with what the city applies for, hasn't received recently, but with your roadway grant projects. The roadway, and as you saw with your stormwater earlier, end up being about 50-50. So even at 20%, getting an 80% grant for a beautiful playground, I think is a good investment, especially with the popularity of Longview.
All right. Bill number 23-50 is continued to the meeting of Monday, November 27th, 2023 for the second reading and consideration. Next is approval of a purchase order to Hutchinson Recreation Design for Longview Farm Park Playground Equipment in the amount of $175,000. I seek a motion and second to approve. Second. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Sorry.
Hold on.
Are we clarifying, are we doing, is it 175 that we're doing, or 36,000?
I can speak to that.
Please.
The 175, you are authorizing the full purchase order, but the initial deposit will be the 36,000 number.
Okay. All right, thank you.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Carried unanimously. Next is the warrant list. It's the amount of $450,000, $450,927.55. Seek a motion and second to approve.
So
Second.
Any discussion? Alderman Francisco.
Yeah, so, again, Ann. So, first of all, I'm excited to see this, that we have bike racks that are coming into town square, because I've been lobbying for those for a while now, but can you tell me where they are? Are they coming in, or are they already been put in?
They're in the barn at Town Square at the moment.
Wait,
Yes.
where are you
So
gonna
they-
put them, right next to
Where the
Right.
bike service station is, yes.
okay. That was the one question, and then I had another question on, this may seem silly, but the cleaning service for Town Square Pavilion for $500. That's an outdoor pavilion, is that something that we do?
Is it for Corvus? I mean, is it for
Yeah, but
Corvus
it says,
Janitorial?
yeah, it says, but it's for the pavilion, and since it's an outdoor pavilion, I just wondered what kind of cleaning we have done. an
It
outdoor
may just be the notation. I believe it's our monthly service payment.
So there are restrooms in that
Right.
Oh,
pavilion,
I know,
which
it's
would be,
attached to it.
Right,
Yeah.
so it's everything at Town Square, actually, both sets of restrooms and the
Got
pavilion.
it. I thought I'd seen it as restroom cleaning before, that's why I was asking.
Alderman Hughes.
thank you, Mayor. I'm looking at page 2, and I see that we have down waste bags, $552.45. I'll speak with the anonymous donor and see if we can get those underwritten.
That would be appreciated. Thank you.
Okay, and on page 6, the Regis subscription fee, I'm assuming that's annual.
no, I think it's monthly, Joanne. Our Regis fees are monthly.
Regis?
Just 1 minute. I think that's it. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, there are reoccurring licensing fees for
Okay,
police, the courts,
okay.
everybody who's access, a
I didn't know
prosecutor.
if Regis was annual or not.
No, it's monthly.
And while we're waiting for that, if I may also ask, animal care services on page 1, 4 dead deer and 2 more dead deer. Where were those taken?
So we sent that out earlier today. Morgan, do you remember those locations?
I have all this.
Okay,
And sorry. So did you, on the Regis, it's a monthly fee, so we have a whole bunch of things that we pay Regis on a monthly
Okay,
situation. If you give me just a second.
I appreciate it, sorry to,
here.
okay.
And I assume that that deer
Various locations,
died from automobile accidents.
not always. Some are impaled on fences.
It's
Okay.
Ridge Creek Lane, Pine Tree Subdivision, Fairfield Oaks Road, and Manderley Drive.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
I hadn't seen that.
Many of them died of old age.
Thank you. And again, I'll speak to the anonymous donor, see what we can do on those. That way.
Relative to the warrant list, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? I do not have any other business. Open it to Alderman Allen.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd just like to recognize that we had, making point, we had a Veterans Day ceremony, and we had 40 or 50 veterans. And I'm hoping that next year, November the 11th, 2024, we will have the tribute for the military and first responders finished at Town Square. And we will be able to recognize the appreciation that our businesses and residents have for our military and first responders.
Great, thank you. And before I adjourn, I want to again thank Mr. Eckberg for coming out tonight. I sincerely appreciate it. I will now entertain a motion to close the meeting pursuant to sections 610.021, 1, 3, and 13 revised statutes of the state of Missouri to discuss legal actions, personnel, and attorney-client privilege communications. Is there a motion and a second?
Second.
Any discussion? I ask the city clerk for a roll call vote.
Alderman Allen.
Aye.
Alderman Even.
Aye.
Alderman Francisco.
Aye.
Alderman Hughes.
Aye.
Alderman Kinsella.
Aye.
Alderman Murphy.
Aye.
Alderman Schwer.
Aye.
And Alderman Musahan.
Aye.
It carries unanimously, and for the record, the board will not return to open session.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all for coming.